So back to the conversation at hand. Easy mode, honey. We're trying to get to that easy mode. But in order for you to be on easy mode, you have to make sure that you're not burning out. You don't want burnout on set with you. You want to be the only one on set with you and whoever else you invite. But I'm sure you're not inviting burnout to your set consistently. That's who this is about, honey. You don't want to burn out and maybe like you was just about to get your big break. Hey you, my YouTube is set to easy mode. If you already have a channel or if you're thinking about getting a channel, what are you waiting for? There are so many reasons to get on YouTube. My personal favorite is the ability to curate a space which allows freedom, financial freedom, creativity freedom, and time freedom. If that's not everything, I don't know what is. Especially time, because time, you can never get it back. And with time, you could do a lot of things, from generating more income and spending more time with your family. Also, what's amazing is that YouTube also serves me as a space where I can keep track of my progress and just kind of like, if I planted a seed, where's the fruit, honey? So it kind of gives you that entire journey from beginning to end, from when you started YouTube to the in-betweens to where you are now. So I love that aspect of YouTube as well. You could use it sort of like as a progress diary, if you will. A progress diary, a productivity tracker, whatever you want to call it, but it's a place where you could document your journey, which is fabulous. I know there are some people that just get on here for fun, and to be able to have a place to look back and look at things that they've done, look at memories and all of that, which is great. A lot of people on YouTube actually started like that as well. Now let's get to the meat and potatoes of all of this, and here is how my YouTube is set to easy mode. I stopped worrying about running my YouTube like a sweatshop, like a factory where everything is just putting out video after video after video, which eventually always leads to burnout. There's literally no way around that. When you overdo things and you have some sort of a goal in mind, but even that is not that clear, it could get you to a place of frustration and immediate burnout, which it has happened to the best of them. I mean, like, some of the top YouTubers have experienced burnout. I want to say like a 70% of YouTubers experience burnout at one point or the other. That includes me. I'm a small little guppy in here, but I can tell you from experience, I've already dealt with burnout, and I've only been on this platform a little under a year. So after that crash and burn, honey, I decided to focus more on the journey and the reason why. The reason why I create. And I know all of this sounds cliche, but honey, let's be real. There has to be a bigger purpose than just money. Because even when you get a regular job in this life, when your only motivation is money, it often leads to frustration, depression, and feeling like you're living in lack, and just instead of striving, you're merely just keeping your head above water and surviving. And that's not a great feeling, y'all. So that very reason that you find for yourself, the reason why you create, the reason that you're on YouTube, we'll keep that fire burning, not burn out, okay? And I'm gonna tell you, this is essential for you. And for those of you thinking burnout is not a real thing, don't play yourself, pace yourself, okay? Don't play yourself, pace yourself. It has happened to the most seasoned best of them, so what makes you think that it can't happen to you? A great tip is to focus more on the process of creating, instead of focusing so much on the volume you're creating, how much you're editing, how much you're pumping out into the YouTubers, okay? Like, honey, please just reel back in a little bit and focus more on the process. And I know, like, again, I'm gonna say this again, it sounds cliche, but it's said over and over for a reason. And please don't confuse me saying this with lacking consistency. Consistency is a must. Consistency is key. Consistency, all it means is to do something regularly, not overly, okay? That's how I think I could simply put it. And hopefully you guys are understanding and picking up what I'm putting down. I do have some notes so that I don't forget, because I'm a creator and I do a whole lot of stuff. So I don't even know if I'm looking at the right place, but I'm trying to, because this whole camera setting is new for me, honey. And you know, I love cooking. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's super entertaining for me. But I definitely don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the process of cooking when I've placed certain demands on myself. Like these demands that I've created in my head that are crazy and just over the top and just like extra demanding. I find that I do not enjoy cooking. Like it feels stressful. It doesn't feel like my natural self. So it's also a thing that we have to have these conversations with ourselves and kind of dial it back a little bit and start enjoying, like do a pace that still feels enjoyable to you. So I feel like what helps with that is having a map that is flexible is a great starting point. So sort of like a little map of what your plan is, maybe how many videos per month you like to put out, different concept ideas, so that you have things readily available, and it's going to help you in the process of the whole thing and not burn you out quickly. So that is a great tip. Always have like a map so that you're able to scale yourself properly. I hope you get that, because you don't want to fixate on controlling things and then end up wasting way more time than you need to. And as we said in the beginning of this video, time is a currency that you just don't get back and is the highest, the most priceless currency in all this universe, okay? So, yes, please relinquish some of that control and just control what you can. For example, I recently was doing a cooking video, and I was in the last little bit of this video. I was boiling the pasta in this glass pot that I normally use often with no issues. I got it from Temu, by the way, super cute. I hope that I can find it again so that I could get this pot again. So I was in the last stage of the cooking portion, then it was gonna be the plating, and then I was gonna enjoy my food, right? So then the pasta was done. I went to the stove to grab the pot. Honey, I slipped slightly, and then when I grabbed it, some of the water fell on my hand, this side of my hand, and it was painful. If you guys I'm sure everyone at some point has dealt with some type of minor or more serious burn. And it's excruciating. It was super painful. Thankfully I didn't slip so bad to where I fell on the ground and the whole pot fell on me. Thank the Lord, that's not what happened. I'm very grateful that's not what took place. However, I did burn my hand, and that caused me to have a reaction to where I let go of the pot. It went all over the floor, lost the pasta, lost the pot because it was a glass pot. It splattered everywhere, shattered everywhere. So I had to stop what I was doing to contain the hazard. As you know, you guys, or if you may not know, if you're new here, I have a dog. Her name is Lulu. She was like really close by, and she gets scared with sounds and certain things super easy. So I had to contain the situation. I had to stop what I was doing, and also for my own safety, because there was like big pieces of glass everywhere. Big pieces of glass, like literally everywhere, all over the floor. So I had to assess that it was, safe, clean up. And then I had to take a deep breath, reel it back in, because it was super frustrating. That means also, it was frustrating, not just because I burned myself and I broke the glass. It was also because when you're recording, you're taking a lot of time to do certain things. If you've never done content, you wouldn't know. That is not as simple as it looks after the video is all put together. So I was a little annoyed with all of that, wasting some time. And so I put my time of delivery back and my time of being able to eat my food and enjoy my food back. So that was a little aggravating, not gonna hold you. And so, like I said, I cleaned up the area, grabbed the metal pot, boiled some water, added some pasta. What's that, like anywhere from 9 to 12 minutes. So that took, and then with recording and stuff, it usually goes longer. Sorry, I got my retainers in. But yeah, so that whole situation also it's a good example to show that there are certain things you can't control, and you just kind of have to roll with the punches and control what you can control. In that instance, what I could control was cleaning up the area, trying to reel myself back in and come back to being a positive person and finish what I started, finish what I set out to do, which is what I did. I finished my video. I started a new pot of water, got some different pasta. It wasn't the colorful one that I had initially, but hey, it worked. Okay, it's so, like in the Bible it says, what the devil meant for evil, God meant it for good. So in that situation, it worked out for me, and it was great. I didn't get hurt more. My skin is peeling, and that's all there is to it. But like I said, I didn't even have a bubble. My hand was swollen. I had a rough night, but that's about it. That's all I got, excuse me, out of that situation. So yeah, try to find ways to remain positive and to find a workaround on the things that you can actually control. So reeling it back in out of my story and back onto YouTube, like when things go wrong in regards to your YouTube, there are things that you can't control and things that you could control. You can control the quality of your content. You can control the consistency in which you're putting out content, and you can control being yourself and being positive. And and I'm not gonna sit here and say that everything is positive, but for instance, I prefer to push out positivity, especially in these platforms, because it's like, what is the need of pushing out negativity on something that you want to receive positivity, which is financial freedom, freedom of time, and all of that. So I feel like concentrating more on the positive side of things, specifically when it comes to this, is a must. It's a major key. You can dwell on things that go wrong, but what are you gaining from that? Instead, you are literally just letting time pass. Okay? So just work on refocusing back to, and I know this sounds redundant, but this is so important, you guys. Just focus on coming back to yourself and saying, hey, Let me just take it from where I can and do what I can do. And that will make you feel good, actually. Finishing projects will make you feel good, even if you had a little wrinkle here and there. So just as a thing, I'm glad I finished that whole thing after I burned my hand, because my meal was delicious. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and now I still have a piece of content, sorry, I can't even speak, but a piece of content that I can still put out. So that is also added to my arsenal of content that I will release to the YouTubers and that you guys will enjoy as well. So yeah, so focus on like making stock, is it called stock footage? No, but like having, like creating an arsenal so that the days that you actually are down, feel sick, or events happen, that unexpected events happen that you can't control, then you still have videos that you could put out. It doesn't mean, oh, record every day. Try to figure out a schedule. So that goes back to the mapping part of figure out some sort of a schedule of when you will be recording and when you will be editing, and then a schedule of how many times per month or per week you will be releasing video, and is it going to be long form or short form content. So like for instance, I just recorded a video, a video haul, and now I'm recording this video because it's a recording day. And I just recently started adopting this because the other way was not working. The other way, you're literally recording when you need to record, to then edit one video, to then put out one video. So you're constantly on that factory type of thing. You're constantly, so it goes to work smarter, not harder. So when the YouTubers have said that before, like the ones that are seasoned, I should have listened the first time, not almost a year in. But I always think like, oh, this is what works for me. Which it was, but it led to my burnout. So hopefully you guys are going to take some of my advice. And that comes from a lot of seasoned YouTubers and now with my very own experience. So listen, let that fire burn and not burn out, okay? That is the whole objective here. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you guys. I'm laughing at my own pain, because what uses it to cry? I've already cried about it. I cried about my burnout. It was just the most horrible thing one can experience, and it's like your body just, guys, it's terrible. Please create a map of have a list of how you're gonna do things. Take notes. And check them every day and add things to it every day. It doesn't stop. It just continues. Keep the ball rolling. But yeah, just enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Keep that childlike optimism and trust that, you know, that same trust and childlike optimism that's referenced in the Bible even, you know? Yes, the book, the holy book, the book of all books, okay? That childlike optimism is what keeps that fire burning, is what keeps things young and fun and interesting and bubbly, and keeps that other negativity, that darkness at bay. Like, you don't want that, because that only is gonna lead to that crash and burn, and it's horrible, okay? I can't stress it enough. It is horrible, you guys. Like, you don't want that. I hated being in that space. It was just bad. It was bad. And okay, so back to this. I almost went in a trance there. You almost lost me going back into my thoughts about how horrible that time was. But yeah, when you first started YouTube, you possibly were more than likely excited, like more excited and driven, like more childlike, right? More than you are now. Sorry. And so you were possibly more childlike, more driven, more bubbly, more than you are now. And ask yourself, why did you stop feeling the excitement? Ask yourself, why did it stop feeling exciting? Ask yourself why. I'm going to give you a few seconds. Yeah. So now that you kind of have an idea and you kind of answered that question in your head or maybe even out loud, once you relinquish the control, it allows more space for creativity, more time to edit, more time to actually be productive, and time to focus on the titles and thumbnails, which is super important because I know you hear this all the time all over YouTube. The titles are just as important as the thumbnails. It's the packaging of your product. It's the first thing the eyes see, which will decide if the person is going to stop and click. Okay? The person at that very moment, when they see the combination of the title and thumbnail, are going to decide whether they are going to stop and click. Okay? So it's very important for you to, give that some time. A lot of people on YouTube actually do their titles and thumbnails before anything else. Some, they might start with their script. Some might start with their titles next and thumbnails. But a lot of successful YouTubers, they start with their titles and thumbnails. I still haven't, I've done that a little bit. I still haven't developed that fully yet, but I'm getting there. But do what works for you. What works for the next person may not work for you, but the gist of all this is to find a rhythm that feels comfortable for you, to find tools and things that will make it easier so that you're not falling into this revolving door of having to do everything from scratch every single time. So when I speak about the thumbnails and titles, I am not saying you have to have a particular aesthetic that mimics this person or the next or any particular aesthetic. What I am saying is for you to take the time to think about your titles because they are important, and think about your thumbnails because they are just as important. And you want those two things to align with your message, align and vibe with your audience. And that's super important because at the end of the day, you want your content to resonate with your audience. That's how you get an audience. Okay? And you know how they say, think before you speak, as a way to not misuse your words and having to go back and correct what you said? Yeah, so some of that you want to apply here as well. It's kind of like an analogy, something similar. On this platform, you want to think before you start creating aimlessly and just posting aimlessly like a machine, like back to back to back to back to big back. Oh, too much? I'm sorry. Let me reel it in. Let me reel it in. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, you guys. That came out of nowhere. I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay, I'm back now. And I think that I've reeled it in. The thing with me, sometimes when I get a little bit of a giggle, it turns into a whole laugh attack. So bear with me, please, you guys. I don't do it out of malice. It's just a thing that I've had forever. Once it starts, it kind of just keeps going and going. But yeah, you want to have an idea of an end game. You have to have some sort of an idea. although this is fun, and maybe that's the reason why you started, because it was fun, are you interested in just it being fun, or do you want to scale it to something different? Are you looking for something more out of YouTube, out of this platform, and maybe even other platforms, right? What are you looking to get out of it? Are you looking to build an audience? Are you looking to get monetized? Or are you looking to do both or all three, right? Which all three are possible. And I kind of want to explain this kind of thoroughly. So you want to have an idea of, in a plan, but kind of like a defined idea of what your end game is. Although this is fun, and maybe that might be the reason why you started, or many more started doing content on this platform, YouTube. It's because it was fun. It's because it was a way to keep a diary of your life and things of that nature. But are you looking to do something more with it? Are you interested in building a community? Are you interested in monetizing? Or are you interested in both? Yeah, so you kind of want to have some sort of a clue, because that will help you in your journey. With both of these, you want to plan your approach, of course. Both of them they have certain similarities in the approach, and then certain differences as well. For example, building a community is very often, and more often than not, a slow grind. Like, it's a slow grind. I'm not even going to hold you on that. I'm going to be 100% transparent. It's often a slow grind. As building trust with people, which makes up a community, is a key aspect of that. Having a community, in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of people, is the most significant and most valuable aspect of any platform. Any platform, not just YouTube. And it's because of the simple fact that a community grows with you, and also usually follows you around and supports all or a lot or most of your endeavors. So this is why building a community is major key, is high key, major key, honey. I would say always strive to build a community. So this is why I don't mind growing at a slow pace, because I know that my end goal is building a community in which we all could share and support one another. Now, moving on to the second aspect of this, which is getting monetized. Often, well, I'm not going to say often. Getting monetized could be either very fast or very slow. And it all depends on a few elements, like virality, which means the ability of going viral, right? So if you go viral, you can get monetized super fast. You can get your hours super fast. You can get your watch time, super fast. And oftentimes with that comes viewers, which comes subscribers, right? And maybe I just messed that up, but you guys get what I'm saying. So if you go viral, it's the easiest way to to get your public watch hours, and also get a lot of subscribers that way. I believe that still is the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours to get monetized, but there's also a smaller scale that they added, I think, in the last year, which is 3,000 watch hours and 500 subscribers. Yeah, so virality is one aspect of that. And virality could depend on two things. It could depend on strategy, you strategizing, actually planning out videos and content that you feel or that others have been doing that have allowed them to go viral, or the good old luck. You just happen to put out a video, maybe not much thought into it, maybe it's something satire, maybe something crazy, maybe something just so real that makes everybody click on that video based on what they first see and based on what maybe sometimes they read as the title. So, hey, luck still hasn't been on my side, but God is always on my side. So we're gonna just be content and happy, right? So yeah, so with virality, those are the two things. You could either strategize to go viral or just maybe you get lucky and you go viral, right? And then the second aspect of getting monetized and even virality is already having a known brand, a known name, or a recognized face, honey. Okay? And so that if you have a brand already and a name that's recognized, a household name, and a face that people recognize, it's easier for you to, as a new YouTuber, come on this platform and build from that recognition. Sorry, my trays, my things, my mouth guard is not working with me right now. So y'all work with me though. You work with me. So whichever it is or both, you do not want to burn out. Listen to me when I'm saying this. Pay attention, please. When I'm saying this, this is so important. Whichever way you are gearing to go, you don't want to burn out before that one video that gets you the views, because that video does come, but it doesn't just come to everyone as a viral video, and it doesn't just come to everyone that's on YouTube. It comes to those that have the viral video or the ones that actually have a plan and are consistent at working on that plan and delivering consistently. And so that's who this is about, honey. That's who this is about. So yeah, so you don't want to burn out and maybe like you was just about to get your big break. It's just not something you want to do. And none of us know exactly when that's going to happen. But just know that consistency does pay off. I'm sorry, you guys. This camera is new to me and I'm new to her. So I'm practicing being patient and having grace. But the whole thing kind of shut off on me. So we're back. But yeah, but being consistent, and I think that's where I left off, being consistent does pay off. So please try to work on your patience, apply patience. And also, in all honesty, this is not for everybody. This is simply sometimes just not for everybody. But if you feel like you have a passion for content creating outside of also having a gift, like if you're very talented at something, doesn't always translate into you being a content creator in which you showcase that passion, that gift, that talent, right? And then also expect, like if you're just doing it for the love and the passion of it, and you're not expecting to grow a community, build a community, or get monetized, then yeah, go ahead, go off. But you have to really figure out if this is something for you. Give it a try for a few months, maybe 3 or 4 months, and see if this is your jam, right? Otherwise, immediate burnout is what is destined to happen. and disappointment. And this whole content creating thing is not for everyone. Thankfully, I could say I love it. I could go into a whole story about back in the dizzle, honey, and I've been kind of spilling it in my videos, in my hauls and whatever videos, because I did start a YouTube channel back in the day when girls like Carly Bybel started, or not started, when they were like really at their peak and they were like the only ones doing it, when they were being called gurus and things of that nature. I did, and I gave up because I had a lot going on at the time, and I only put out like 2-3 videos, and then I made it private because I was so concerned with what people what if somebody that I know sees me. And at the time I was doing hair and makeup videos, because if you guys don't know about me, I'm a hair and makeup girly too, honey. Like a real hair and makeup girly. For real, in real life. I don't do that anymore, but yeah, there was a time that I was doing hair and makeup. So back to the conversation at hand. Easy mode, honey. We're trying to get to that easy mode, but in order for you to be on easy mode, you have to make sure that you're not burning out. Don't crash and burn before the easy mode, honey. 3 components of burnout are exhaustion, and I'm gonna give you real definitions, so I'm gonna read them out. So it's exhaustion, a state of extreme physical or mental fatigue. That is one component of burnout. The second component is cynicism, an inclination to question whether something will happen or whether it is worthwhile. Pessimism, cynicism about the future. Okay, that's the second component of burnout. And I don't know how to say this word, honey, but look it up if you don't like how I say it. Inefficacy. English is not my first language, but it is my second, and I dominate it better than my first language. So, hey, we're all confused here. I'm not confused, but yeah, I have an accent, and hey, it is what it is. So, inefficacy, failure to produce the desired effect. So, keep these 3 components in mind. Look them up, look a little more information so that if, unfortunately, if you do get to a space where you start to feel any of these symptoms, you know to take a step back and try to prevent the full crash and burn, okay? So that is my tip for you in regards to that burnout when you see it coming on set. You don't want that. You don't want burnout on set with you. You want to be the only one on set with you and whoever else you invite. But I'm sure you're not inviting burnout to your set. I know I'm not. That burnout showed up unannounced to my set, and I had to kick her out, honey. I had to kick her out and down because it was just not working for me. Sorry, my thing keeps going out. But yeah, you don't want her with you. But let me give you some real factual stuff. So I'm going to put it on the screen probably here or on this side or maybe on the entire thing. Who knows? But so burnout can be caused by unmanageable workloads. So this is why I keep saying, pace yourself, don't play yourself. Okay? Feeling the outcome is unfair. Not having a clear map, like not having a clear direction of things, of where you're going, where are things, what to use, what. So doing a little bit of research before you get started is always a great thing. Or even if you've started, there's never a bad time to do research and pivot. Remember that pivot that I spoke about earlier on? Yeah, so you have to know when to pivot. If something's not working, pivot, honey. Pressure to meet deadlines. So oftentimes as in a creative space, you're putting these deadlines on yourself until you start working with brands, and they will have deadlines for you. And that is another topic for another day. Lack of sleep is another. Isolation, or the feeling of being boxed in, feeling like you're suffocating by yourself in a box. It's no bueno. That's why me and boxes, we just don't go together at all. Not real bad, not a little, not a smidget, nothing. We just don't go at all. So I refuse to be boxed in by a niche or anything else, okay? And that's me now. We'll see. We'll check back later with me. Check back. Because you never know. Everything is always ever changing. So I just wanted to put those out there for you to keep those in mind in your pursuit. In your pursuit of freedom. So keep those key points in regards to the burnout. Keep them in the back of your head so that you know the triggers, the symptoms, all of it, so that you know how to pivot and recalculate like the GPS does when it kind of passed the street, or it's in a space where it just got lost because it lost signal or whatever. I don't know why it does it, but it does it. And it pivots, okay? So just pivot, honey. So you don't want to burn out before your big break. That's all I know. At the end of the day, you don't want to burn out before your big break. So make sure that you're drinking your water, you're minding your business, and you're focusing on you, focusing on your craft, enjoying the journey. And what else do I have to say about that? I have to get to the thing, right? So the whole thing with the camera happened again. So I am definitely holding it together, not trying to be frustrated, but let's get back to it. So we already covered time being the most valuable currency one can have in this world. And once you spend it, you can never get it back, honey. So please spend it wisely. Maximize your time by spending it wisely. That's how you do it. You maximize your time by spending it wisely. It's the only way around it. Because the only one that can redeem time is Jesus Christ, God himself. Enjoy the process. Enjoy what you do. Pick things that you actually enjoy. Don't start doing stuff that you can't stand doing. Like me, I love a little good chat section, honey. So I'm enjoying this. I love gabbing away. I'm a yapper by nature. Okay, but I'm also an isolated yapper. I'm a little retired, but the girl's coming back, honey. Enjoy what you do. Sharpen your skills. Sharpen new skills. Ditch the factory business style plan. I cannot stress this enough. Don't act like you are a machine, because you're not. You're a human being, and we expire. We wither away. So we definitely have to take care of our minds, bodies, and ourselves. We have to be mindful of how we feel. And with machines, honey, you just oil them and they're back together, or you buy them another piece, they're back together. And they just keep going and going for some of them for what seems like forever, right? We're not going to be here for forever. So we have to take care of ourselves and take care of our time. Once I applied all of this to myself, I found that my creative blocks have been broken down, honey. We broke those things down, and my creative juices are now flowing again. I'm seeing a lot of positivity and consistent changes on my numbers. So I'm seeing a lot of positive changes on my content, on my numbers, my analytics, or whatever you guys want to call it. And while I haven't had that one video yet, I'm still alive, I'm still happy, and I'm still healthy and burnout free. So that frees me up to still continue to be consistent and make more videos and deliver more videos so that I am still around to get that one video that's gonna push me to where I need to be, honey. So far, I'm very proud of what I have accomplished. When I started at the beginning, I thought it was going to be an easy road. It led to burnout, but now I am Delulu free. Still Delulu about certain things because it's good to have a little bit of Delulu in you, honey. You know, but now I have a clear grasp of what this journey is supposed to be like, and I'm ready, honey, and I'm happy. I'm super content in where my numbers are going and how my content has evolved, and where my content is headed. So yeah. So set it on easy mode and forget it. And just remember, easy mode is a setting within you. There's not a button that you click anywhere for easy. Yes, you can buy subscribers, but is that going to get you the engagement that you're looking for? Is that going to actually help you with the community that you want to build, that's going to support you in all of your endeavors, and that's going to be happy for you when you reach a new milestone? No. So, but I am not knocking anyone that goes that route. Certain people use it for their own purposes. Certain people use that because they already have established businesses, so it makes sense for them. But just strive to build a community. Strive to build a community and be proud of your work. Be proud of the work that you put out, the time that you spend doing this work. And even if nobody tells you yet that you're doing amazing, you are doing amazing. Keep going, and eventually they will come. And that's what I'm basking on. And just remember, easy mode is not a setting on the YouTubers or any platform. It's a setting within you. Is a setting that allows you to have grace for yourself in the process. So to have grace for yourself in this process, and plan things out accordingly, and give yourself a break, and just be in tune with the whole process of what being a content creator is, and that will afford you more time and grace to do what you do in fun and in love, and then eventually leading to your big break and all of the freedoms that you want, whether it's financial, whether it's time that you want more time of with your family, or all of the above. And I wish you guys all of the luck in your journeys. If you have any questions or any thoughts or any tricks that you want to share with me, please leave them down below in the comments. I would thoroughly enjoy that. Also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel for more content like this and all sorts of stuff. I'm a food content creator, as well as I focus on skincare and many other things. So if these are things that kind of pique your interest in learning together, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when I've posted. And if you have anything to share, the comments. We live in the comments, honey. And I hope this was helpful to one or to all of you. Yeah, if any of these tips were helpful. If any of this information was helpful, make sure to watch this video next. I don't know where it's gonna be, but it's gonna be in a few seconds. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.